Hello, hello, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Doing. Trying to check my light. It's always something with this light, right? There we go. Thank you all for tuning in today. Let me tag my co-host in. Yes. Today we are going to be talking about conversations and consultations, conversations that you should have with your clients during the consultation. That is what we will be talking about today. Okay, I'm almost done pinning my topic. Okay. Okay, just waiting to see if we can get Precious on the line. I am not sure how this goes. Let's see. Okay. Nope. One moment. Some of these functions are new to me, you guys. I am so sorry. Yes. Okay. Okay, I sent you the request. I think I did it right. There we go.
Hey, we're together.
Hey,
How are you doing, Tiffany?
I'm good. How are you, Precious?
I am doing fine. It's raining out here. We're about where you are.
Nope, no rain. It is actually surprisingly sunny in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Well, enjoy it while you can.
Exactly. Because we know here it can be different in an hour.
Right.
So, if you all are new here, my name is Tiffany Nicole. I am the owner of the Cosmetology Collective. I have invited Precious to come and speak with us today about client consultations. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So, hi guys. So, as Tiffany mentioned, my name is Precious Rutlin, and I have an international online hair and wellness consulting clinic. And I help women to restore their hair and get to the root cause of what their hair issue is so they can, get their confidence back. And what I found is that women, like, we know that there's an issue with hair, with our hair, but we're not clear on, okay, what's the cause? What's the reasoning this is happening? And then I myself have recovered my hair on 2 occasions. So I totally get, where the women are coming from. And so that is why I'm here to share everything with them that I've experienced and was able to restore not only my hair, but my clients' hair.
All right. So, what we want to talk about is what are some of the important factors of consultations? Why do we need them?
Yeah.
From both perspectives, as the professional and for the client to be able to also understand why it's important to have a consultation.
Absolutely. So I'll start from the client standpoint. So from the client standpoint, you're already in a sort of a mental space because, you're ashamed because, for however long, you may have let it go on. and your hair is gone, but you just know that you want it back. And so, you honestly just don't know what you don't know. And so when you're looking for a professional to assist you, you want to look at, how long have they been doing it? Were they able to get results for other clients? Not to say that if they don't have, say, any, I guess, pictures or so just yet, still, use your judgment to see if you're going to work with them. Because I have seen cases where professionals are really great at what they do, but they, sometimes, forget to take pictures of, before and after. So don't really too much hold that against them, but really asking the questions. And also, I'm going to put this out there for both the client and the professional, is really being forthcoming with information. So what I mean by
Yes.
that is when you're in the consultation, same thing when you go to a stylist, and I'm sure you could probably attest to this. You've had people sit in your chair and I'm looking at you and I'll say, Tiffany, have you ever colored your hair before? And you'll look me dead in
No.
my eye and say, no. But like all those and that's just the example. I'm not knocking anybody, but like
Right.
questions like that, like when the professional asks you questions or we start digging and drilling down into, what your lifestyle is, what are your hair regimens. We're asking that for a reason because all of that plays a part. So we're trying to get an understanding of, what did you do before you started experiencing hair loss? Okay, well, what are you trying to go now? So really just being clear on your expectations so you know that there's no false promises. You're not leaving
Yes.
pissed with the professional. Well, Tiffany can't help me grow my hair back. Precious can't help me grow my hair back. And you got to understand we can only do so much, and it's depending on, is it permanent hair loss, is it semi-permanent? So there's a lot of factors, and we're just trying to help you. So those are the first few things, just coming from a client perspective. It's just really being open and honest. And then I want to say this before I jump to the professional side, is being willing to receive the information. So, always do your due diligence. It's okay to talk to more than one person, but be willing to receive the information. So it's not that the professional is being mean and, you ain't gonna get your hair back and you're gonna be bald head forever. But no, we're trying to, out of a professional opinion and just knowing what the anatomy of the hair is and what the body and how long it'll take, just being really to accept, this is what it is for right now. Okay, but let's focus on the positives of it and what I can do. So really just being clear on your expectations. Don't be trying to expect you finna get Pocahontas hair going down your back, Now, from the professional standpoint, we always, again, from a professional, you want to make sure that you aren't giving, like what I just touched on, false promises to the client. Again, because
Absolutely.
I've seen that several times now, especially in advertising and the way people talk, and I'm listening, and it's like, okay, really be careful with that language that you're hearing, because the clients, and I really take this to heart, because when they come sit in your chair or they're on that virtual consultation with me,
Mhm.
they're very vulnerable. They're in a very vulnerable
Yes.
state. Some women can't even share with their spouse or their child. Like, some people haven't even seen their hair. Like, for me, sometimes that's the first time they ever showing anybody their hair. Like,
A
damn,
lot
my
of
kid.
times.
So
Yes.
yeah. So they're really just in a really vulnerable state. So really being empathetic to, what the client has going on, but at the same time using that language so that they understand, well, I'm not going to promise you that you'll grow your hair back, because I don't have control over what my body going. I don't have control over what Tiffany
Mhm.
body gonna do. Me and Tiffany can give you the hair plan. We can give you everything. We can tell you how to do your hair, how supplements to take. But that's on everything. That's on you when you go out that door. Are you gonna follow the plan, the steps that we let. Are you gonna, wrap your hair or do what we tell you to do at night so your style can last, so you can keep it camouflaged, so you can, keep your hair relaxed. And I would also say, be prepared to invest in yourself. When you're losing hair, like, it's
That's
going to
big.
take time. So you gotta invest not only in just whatever the consultation is or the hair program is, but you got to be ready to invest your time, be patient and do what it says. If you got to change your diet, if you got to, exercise, if you got to do a whole regimen, then be willing to do that. Don't be ready to cut the steps per se,
Right.
because a lot of these supplements and programs and things, you have to be on this stuff consistently. So it's not, I'm gonna take some supplements this week, but then I'm not gonna take them next week, and then you starting to stop, but then you getting pissed with the professional, or you getting pissed with Tiffany because what she told me to do didn't work. And it's no, this is a partnership. We're advising, we're guiding you, what to do with your body. And then as
Yeah, I think
far
a
as
lot
like,
of
oh,
times,
go ahead.
yeah, I think a lot of times they're looking for like a one-stop shop,
Yeah,
and we don't have everything at our disposal.
yeah,
Sometimes we even have to bring in a dermatologist,
yeah,
to help work with some other forms of hair loss. We can't fix it all.
yeah.
And
And
I
I'm
think
glad you pointed
clarity is a
that
part of
out.
the consultation. Yep.
And that's another good point. I'm glad you pointed that out. So as Tiffany mentioned, yes, we don't have all the answers. So it may take you having to go back to your physician. It may take you having to go to a dermatologist. It may take you having to go to like a therapist or something. I mean, because it's like a team. Like, we got to
A
work on this
dietitian, there's a
all
lot of
together.
things.
Yes. So
Hmm.
those are some other things that you could have. And it's always good, just both to have your questions wrote down and to make sure you understand. So like for me as a trichologist, this is a new term. Well, not a new term, but it's new to some people, because a lot of people didn't really know that a trichologist exists, or they didn't know that there's actually a group of people that study the hair and scalp. So as I got into trichology, that was new for me to find that out. So have your
Hmm.
questions. And one of the differences that one of the things that I get asked all the time is, well, what is the difference between a trichologist and a dermatologist? So the main difference is one
Let the
is
people know.
medically the main difference is one that is medically certified, and they can actually, write a prescription for you, do scalp biopsies, and they're licensed by the medical board. Versus a trichologist, depending on where they went, they're certified, so they can't give you any prescriptions or any drugs. But what they can do is help you from a holistic standpoint, meaning everything that they're going to do is going to be natural solutions. For me, that's what I do. Everything I do is a holistic, natural approach. So that's the main difference between the two. And then some won't accept insurance, some do accept insurance, but that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different situation. Yes.
Yes.
So, like, I want to talk about the how it is. We're going to move to like speaking to the professionals, how to actually conduct a proper consultation in the hair loss and trichology space, because we have a lot of people that, like you said, are afraid to come out and show their hair.
Yes.
Privacy is important, confidentiality is important. And you're saying how some stylists may not have pictures to go on because it's very sensitive. A lot of people don't want their pictures taken.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Where the person is maybe just doing, regular, add some extensions, or doing color. They're doing the before and afters.
Yep.
You're not always going to see that in this part of the beauty industry, because everybody isn't open to that as a client.
Correct. And I would also say, when you're thinking about your space, just if you're a stylist or anywhere you're considering, having your own hair loss clinic, that was one of the big things for me, as I realized when I was being a stylist, is that people, they want privacy. So just like Tiffany mentioned, okay, so then I started looking like I'm gonna have to come from being in this open space and talk to my salon owner to see, hey, is there like a private room? So if I ever do get clients, can I go back there? Is it okay? Because not everyone wants to be out in the front in the open and taking off their wig or taking off their pieces to show me their hair. And then when you do have them in your chair, make sure that they understand. And this is where you come in. You can have like your little, I want to say, disclaimer or a waiver so that they understand that you are taking photos, but the photo, they can say, whether or not they give you permission to share the photos. But it's also just to cover you, as a
Absolutely.
professional, and that you want to put everything out there so it never seems like you're being shady or you're doing some underhand stuff. But no, it's to really protect you because you're liable when they come in that chair. Make sure you have good documentation, that they understand, what you're saying, because that's the last thing. You don't want to have the law enforcement coming down to you because, well, I done left Tiffany and Tiffany said she could grow my hair back, and that's not what Tiffany said. That's not what I said. So that's definitely going to be key, is documenting, making sure that they sign off, they understand, and also, asking them, would you mind, if you do start to see great results, would you mind giving me a testimony? Can we use your photos? So 9 times out of 10, they don't normally, mind, they normally
Mhm.
say,
You just have
okay,
to be open with them and get permission. And like you said,
yeah.
documentation, everything.
Mm-hmm. And then I would say, so if you are a trichologist and you're coming over into this field because you're wanting to incorporate this into your salon service, then you definitely can invest in a decent, it's called like a trichoscope, so you can be able to look at the scalp a little closer. It's a more magnified view. So like just looking at me and Tiffany hair, it looks nice. But when you get up close, you like, Precious, you need to go wash your scalp. Tiffany, you need to go wash, so you can get a closer look at a more magnified view of what's going on with the scalp. So, that'll definitely help you to get more visibility with the scalp. And then, just documenting, really what you see at that time. So it's going to be twofold. It's always going to be your visual, what you see right then and there in that chair. But then the bulk of your consultation is going to come from the questions that you ask your client. And then again, them being honest with you and saying, hey, yeah, I used to relax my hair for 11 years, or I used to color my hair and do relaxers at the same time, and I wore a braid, so because we got to look at all of that to see, what area of the hair are you experiencing the hair loss. Now we got to figure out solutions, that won't cause any further damage to your hair, so we can at least try to stimulate to get the hair to come back. So all of that's going to play a part. And I would say on the client, even if you could have like some sort of picture, like of styles that you could want to go to just to see if it's a possibility. That way we can let you know, okay, yeah, that could be doable. We can do, we could fix our hair. Like Tiffany, she does, the wigs now, so she can make you look units, make it breathable so it's not tight on your hair, going to do any more damage while she's helping you to get restore your hair. So that's just an example.
So I have a question about compatibility. Where does that come in at in the consultation? So say everything lines up. You know you can help this person,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it's a vibe that you think maybe this might not be a good fit. How do you handle that? Or
Absolutely.
have you encountered
Yes, I have. And I was gonna say, I'm gonna put this out there and I'm gonna let it fall where it may. But trust and believe, if you have any inkling that something is off with this client or it's just not gonna work out, turn it down. Just figure it out. What I'm telling you, because not all money is worth that money. It's not worth the headache and the hassle. And I can say that because I've experienced it. I'll give you an example. The consultation, and this was just a complimentary consultation, just to get basic information, understand. But whenever you get a client or someone, they're continue to ask you, what products do you use? Like, and that's every other question. Or, they answer your question with a question, and they study trying to see, well, I done looked online, or I done Googled, well, my sister just ordered this and I'm using it. That's not going to be your client. And that was I wouldn't say an expensive lesson for me, but that was a more of a mental lesson for me. And definitely keep, like I said, documentation, receipts, everything they pay for, because it could come down the line and bite you in the end. Because so I went through with this lady, and she gave me her whole story. She experienced hair loss. She just wants to get it back. She's into movies. She's into acting. And I'm like, okay, and I was like, oh, I know I can help her. I may not be able to help her recover 100% of her hair, but I can help her, get the majority of it back, because it was due to mechanical things, like she was hair coloring, that stuff. But then, later on, turned out she went behind me. So she didn't follow the hair plan. She done went and ordered all these, what's the name? It's called XTC, some hair solution. But anyway, she ordered their whole kit,
It's a
and
million.
then and shampoo. And I'm just looking like, what? And then she came on back later on, was like, yeah, you out here doing all these clients and on this podcast and stuff, and you didn't even give me my results. You didn't even help me with my hair. And I said, ma'am. So I said, I have helped. I was forthcoming with everything, and I told you about your hair situation. I told you about how long I would need to help you get your hair back. You're the one that went and ordered these products. You're the one that, you know what I'm saying? And then I had to go back and show her, documentation, show her receipts. This is what you paid for. This is what it entails. Like, I had it all lined out. And then once I showed her that, she was like, oh, okay. But had I have followed my first instinct and just turned that down, and plus she was a referral. So, when people send you referrals, you want to make a good impression, because that's your name, that's their name, that, and it was just like, it's not worth it. So please pay attention. If you have any inkling, and I don't care how bad you need them, your lights probably finna get cut off, but your sanity and your peace and your name, your business name, that is worth more than anything. And people will lie just to come get in your chair, just to come, like you just never know what people's motives are nowadays. But that was definitely a good lesson.
It is definitely a way to, like you said, get away from that by having systems in place and documentation.
Yeah.
So for your scope of business, what type of systems do you have in place, like post consultation?
So post consultation, I follow up with them. So I have a check-in. So make sure you have your scheduling systems. There's all kind out here. You got Acuity and so whatever you like, Style Seat, whatever you're gonna use. So definitely make sure that you're able to track that, and then also making sure you can use email now, but they have other systems too. Making sure that you're sending them information pertaining to whatever it is, that situation that they're going through. So if they need help, say with meal planning or exercising, or if they need help with the hair regimen, making sure you're sending them information pertaining specifically to them. So, and it also personalizes it for them, because you're building that connection with them. And I also have them send me pictures. Okay, Miss Jones, we've been together for a month now. Can you please take pictures? If they're, since they're I'm virtual. You know, I have them send me pictures, but you know, if you're coming into Tiffany's chair, or you're going to your stylist, take your time and take pictures of their hair so that way you can see the progression, because that's one of the things that you're going to run into, especially when you're experiencing hair loss. Is the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
exercise. Do I ever gonna see results? Is this hair ever gonna come back in? Yes, it will. But you know, so you need that visual motivation just to see some progress. Can I see it? Like, you know,
You
if
do.
you see that little peach fuzz coming back in, okay, I'm finna keep on doing what Tiffany told me to do, girl, because I see a little something. And don't let it start getting a little length on it. Then you be feeling yourself.
Yeah, don't let me be able to grip it. Oh
Yes,
man.
yes,
Now I can put some product on it. Get some curls.
yes, yes. So those are like my key um post consultations, because those are really huge. And then just keeping that communication open, because sometimes it's not all about just being professional. Sometimes they just need to sit in somebody's chair, just like we gotta go to counseling. They need to just sit in somebody's chair and just go count, and they just want to be heard. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not, you know, they really need something, or because they understand that it's going to be a process, but they just want to hear, they just want to vent. And then you know, you got to remind them, because that's what we are. We're there guiding them, walking them through this journey. So those are
Hmm.
going to be the biggest things that I see that have helped me be successful in this area.
Okay. Awesome. So we went over the purpose of the consultation is for the clarity, the documentation,
Yes.
finding out the hair history, and the expectations. What about pricing? Do you do that in the initial consultation, or is there another form of intake, or do you do a pre-consultation form so you kind of get an idea where to start?
So yeah, so I cover all of that during our complimentary consultation. So I guess that would have
Okay.
been the pre-consultation I'm talking about. So yeah, so
Okay.
I would have covered you know, what would be the best solution for them going forward. Or like when I used to be in the salon, I would say, okay, well, I know you normally come and get your washing style, but if we can start incorporating, you know, high frequency comb treatments, you know, per visit. So yeah, all of that would be built in. So I will put together like my own packages, and definitely let them know the price of what they're looking at. So that's the other thing. You all, before you even go into your consultation, you already want to have your packages laid out, so that you know there's no guessing. You know you're very
Mhm.
clear on what it is. So when you sit down, it's the same thing like when we go to buy a car. You know, you got to sit down, have everything laid out, and be able
You
to
do.
explain to them. So yeah, I have that ready to go, and I have more than one option. And it's okay if you just have one option right now, because you know you're still
Hmm.
learning and progressing. But you know, have you at least 3 packages. But if you only can do one, that's totally fine, because everybody's budget is going to be different and their needs are going to be different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have packages. Now, if
Yeah.
they are kind of like between like the packages, you just do like add on a couple of things to the other package,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
kind of customize it. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm loving this. So how does one make a appointment with you to
Yeah.
actually
So,
receive your services?
so with me, they can actually
We're
just go
talking to
on.
everybody. We just don't know.
Yeah, so with me, I just normally have it set up to they go online and just fill out the questionnaire, and then we just set a date and go from there. So I like to keep it streamlined, because then if you get in the habit of having people send you emails, stuff get lost in the email, you overlook something because you're too busy.
Yeah.
So the best thing for me is just to send them to my website, and then you know you just click on your appointment schedule. You just say what you want. I want complimentary, and then it go, and that's the flow to keep everything organized.
Okay. So the difference between your complimentary consultation and your, I guess where you're actually going to
Consult.
prescribe your package or system, I don't know how you
Hmm.
want to word it.
Yeah.
Is it the timing that makes it different or the amount of information?
Yes, it would just be the amount of information. So the pre-consultation, that's just again for me to get to know Tiffany, get an understanding of where she is right now. What are you looking to do? I'm setting expectation. What are you expecting of me? What do I expect from you? Because again, this is a 50-50 partnership. As I mentioned,
Mhm.
I can tell you everything to do. I can lay everything out. I can tell you, you need this, this, and this. But if Tiffany don't do what I say, then everything else is out the door. So again, just laying all that out for them. And so
All right.
that's complimentary. And then just to make sure I'm not wasting their time, they're not wasting mine. And then we go, okay, well, Miss Jones or Tiffany, so based on what you said, here's what I can do. Here's how I can help you. I have these options available. I recommend that you go with this package, but in the ultimate, this is for you. So what are you leaning towards? What sounds feasible for you? And then we go from there, and then we set up the actual, process.
Okay. Now, do you offer training for people that want to get into your space, or are we not there yet?
Actually, I am working on that. Cause so what I have going on right now is I am a course leader for a trichology program, and
Okay.
I'm going to start my own trichology mastery membership, because what I find is that once we get the certifications, we still need that additional support. So there is a gap there, and so that is what I've created, is for those that have been in the stylist space. They've been, they're now certified, but now they want that additional space where they can come ask questions, things that are going on with their client, or they just want more business support. How do you do this? So that is what I have going on right now. So yeah, so I'm not teaching them directly, like I need you to have the foundation already. But if you have that
Okay.
foundation, then I can take you from there and help build you.
That's very important. That's similar to what we do here at the Cosmetology Collective. But since I
Okay,
am not a trichologist, that is not my lane. I believe in staying in your lane. So when you
that's
when you
true.
get those programs up and running, definitely share those resources with us and I will
Okay,
send them your way if that's where they need to be. You know, I
absolutely.
believe in our community we need to do that more. The hair industry, the beauty industry. I don't want to just keep saying hair because it's all of us.
Yeah.
We sometimes we're afraid to refer people to somebody else,
Yep.
or to say that we don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that, so I can't really help you other than just from a basic business standpoint. At some point, business practices are business practices, but when you niche down, that's where I can't help them at that point, in
Yeah.
that field. So that's not my lane. I have no problem saying it. That's just like when you are doing the consultations, right? And you're trying to decide, is this client a good fit for your business
Right.
model? It's the same thing. Like, okay, no, that's not. I know somebody that could do that though. Let me write that down.
Mhm.
Send her this information because we just can't. You're still helping somebody by
Yep.
sending them to the person that can help them if you're not actually that person. So
Mhm.
I just think that's something that we need to incorporate in the industry. Train up the people that's coming under us. But let me say this.
What?
I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of people say the game is to be told, not to be sold.
Yes,
False.
I've heard that before.
False. We wouldn't have colleges if the
Yeah.
game was to be told, not to be sold. Okay? So just like you go to formal training for anything else, a fee is
Yeah.
attached to it. So, what I mean, we all have freebies and things that we tell you kind of what you can do, but if you
Mhm.
want me to tell you how to do it,
Yeah. You gotta
it's a
invest.
fee associated with that. So,
Yeah.
I just think people get kind of caught up on that.
They
You
do.
don't just
And I'm
help
glad you
nobody.
talk I'm glad you brought that up because that was one of the things when I got into trichology and my instructor, like I went to her because it's like, okay, well, how do I approach, other stylists to show them that, hey, I could be a helping to you, versus the
Mm-hmm.
stylist thinking, well, no, I'm Precious trying to take Tiffany client. No, ma'am, I'm not trying to take your client, but if you need help with their scalp, I can help you with that piece so you don't have to worry about that if that's something I want to do. But yeah, so she was just always instilling in me, like, you just have to find those stylists. But I still had that blockage because I'm like, I just had a couple bad experiences with some stylists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I kind of held that against. I'm like, no, they all like that, and they don't want to share. They think I'm trying to take their clients, and I'm not. But now I've grown past that and worked through all that. But that's definitely true. I've come across that. And so I just say, hey, that's just how they gonna
I
be.
think from a viewpoint now that we have this whole virtual space going on, I think that might ease some of that with other
Oh, okay.
stylists because you're not actually behind the chair. So I think being virtual would kind of soften that a little bit for you, building
Oh,
those
okay.
relationships. See, like if it's
Gotcha.
somebody behind the chair, they might feel threatened, like, well, she know more than me, so my client is going over there. Maybe not. It may be she may be more knowledgeable, but maybe not have the technical skills that you have.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
Cause I
and
can't
that's
do
a part
all
of
them
everybody
styles.
staying in
I
their
can't
lane.
braid and be all fly like Tiffany. So I'ma sit on the I can't do all that. I don't have the pace. I can't. Girl, but your part to be
Yeah,
crooked and I mean it'll be just obvious it ain't gonna be fly like Tiffany, you know what I'm saying? But I could just do a little something to tie you over. you
right. So yeah, I
know.
think, and that's communication. It all boils down to communication, and being confident in yourself. Like
Yeah,
nothing
that
is a
too.
competition.
Hmm.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add or
Um,
let the people know?
Well, I just wanted to say I've enjoyed coming on, speaking with you all. And if you guys want to stay connected with me or you have any questions that you want to bounce off of me, you can go to, I'll try to put it here in the chat, but it's bit.ly, my hair girl. And you can just leave your email address, to get on my mailing list. Or you can always, what's that called me? DM me and just say, hey, I was, part of collective and just let me know. And then, that if you're interested in connecting, so that way, like Tiffany mentioned, and I'm definitely going to let her know as well, like when the membership is fully running, I can definitely let you guys know, if you want additional support, with your clients, or you may have some questions. So definitely let me know, like we're all here to help. But I
I
appreciate you
would,
coming. Let me come on today, Tiff.
yes, I think it's very important because, a lot of people are unsure of the purpose of a consultation. I run across
Yeah,
that, while
that
I'm still
too.
behind the chair. They'll call and say, well, I was going to book a consultation, but I just have a couple of questions. No, ma'am, that's what the consultation is for.
Yeah.
They don't kind of understand what it is. So I think that as professionals, we can do a better job at communicating that, in
Hmm.
our social media and however it is that we communicate with our clients, because they don't really understand. So that's why
Hmm.
I thought it was a good idea to have this topic in our space, because with the hair loss, things are a lot different.
Hmm.
So, I just figured we let the people know.
And I want to
I'm
just put
glad you
this
came
right
on.
here because you brought that up, and I did a podcast about this. Because I had one of my clients, and it was so unfortunate. She also asked, well, is it okay to ask a stylist questions? And I said, why would it? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's part of
Mhm.
the consultation. And I said, well, just me being a stylist, I was just blessed that all the stylists I went to, before they even did work on my hair, because they didn't know me, they asked me, set me down in their chair, asked me, what I do to my hair, what style am I looking for. And they were just honest. They were saying, well, I got to learn your hair and how your hair gonna respond. So they weren't, and so I was like, so don't be, I guess I wouldn't say intimidating, but be mindful of that, because sometimes the clients, they legitimately do have questions. Now, sometimes the
Yeah.
questions will be like, girl, now you know damn well, but just have some patience with them, because
Yeah.
they honestly don't know how to approach us or what to ask. So
Hmm.
that's something else to be considering of too. And some of them just honestly
Yeah.
don't know.
They don't. They don't. And I don't know if it's not being taught extensively anymore. I'm not going to say it's not being taught because it's clearly in every curriculum that I've seen
Yeah,
in the schools, but I don't know how much time is being spent there. You know,
there
I
you
think it's
go.
kind of just
Yeah.
brushed over.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so definitely be mindful of that and have, be ready to answer their questions. So that's what the consultation is for, so they can get everything answered. Like, again, you're setting expectations for them and for you, letting them know how you work. Hey, if you 15 minutes late, I gotta, it's gonna be an extra fee, or I gotta go on to my next person. And in that way you don't have any regret, or man, I shouldn't have took this customer, or you feeling some kind of way. Now you got a pissy attitude. And we can clear all of that right now from this
Mhm.
consultation, and you'll be in a much better place. Blood pressure be down.
A whole lot of things. More smiles on your face. I'd rather have smile lines than frown lines, okay? If I'm going to age with it, listen here. I'd rather there be smiles.
I get it, but sometimes you do need the money, and then you like, well, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff on the table to weigh.
It is. It definitely is. So thank you again for coming on. If anybody wants to connect with Precious, her Instagram handle is right in the comments. I have pinned it.
Yes,
You can get to her profile, click the bio, and find all of the things that she was talking about today. If you want to book an appointment with her, or if you want to sign up for the waiting list or whatever for the training, you can do all
yes.
of that in her profile. So Precious, thank you again for coming on.
Hmm.
And we're going to do some more things later, I'm sure.
Definitely. Okay, guys, you take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Let's see. Okay, I would just like to thank everybody for joining in today. I hope you really enjoyed the conversation today with Precious Rutlin. She is a trichologist in this area. I know that a lot of people may not know exactly what a trichologist does, so I encourage you to go to her profile and see what it's all about, see if it's something you're interested in as a professional. If you are a client, to see if she can help you. She does virtual. So it doesn't matter what city or state you're in, you will be able to connect with her. If this is your first time here, my name is Tiffany Nicole. I am the owner of The Cosmetology Collective, where we prepare you from graduation all the way up to your grand openings through hands-on classes, virtual classes, and also business strategies. If you need any assistance with that, you can click the link in my bio and sign up for a strategy session. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see you on the next training.